how did you make these again?
Just tequila, lime juice, a little bit of orange, Grand Marnier, and simple syrup.
Very good. Hey guys, welcome back to Fly By Night Reviews. I'm your host, Kiren.
I'm Dom.
Today, me and Dom are trying something new. We like discussing stuff other than movies and shows, like, kind of the entertainment industry as a whole.
Where it's headed, what we like, what we don't like.
Yeah, and, we figured, hey, let's just record a very, non-scripted kind of thing where we just sort of talk about, some of the behind-the-scenes stuff going on in shows, what we like about shows, what we don't like about shows.
What are expectations on upcoming stuff?
Yeah, and just we kind of want to keep this open because, for future content as well. We have a cool idea of possibly doing like the hot wings or the hot ones challenge with like hot wings.
Love me some hot sauce.
Yeah, pick a topic and then start talking about stuff. But we got these delicious margaritas that Dom made. How did you make these again?
Just tequila, lime juice, a little bit of orange, Grand Marnier, and simple syrup.
Very good. With a little tahini on the rim, a little tang.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna basically be talking about Ahsoka and how
Star Wars in general.
Yeah, Star Wars and Disney, and I know, I wasn't really okay. Mandalorian came out. It was sort of the first show that
it kind of set the bar for where things could be.
Yeah, it was almost like it was hyped. Like you knew it was coming. When we saw the first episode, it was like, okay, this is definitely cinematic quality. On a TV screen, and this is like, oh shit, like the
Star Wars. And it was good.
Yeah, it was really good too. I mean,
with the exception of that one Tatooine episode, but yeah.
Yeah, give or take. I mean,
yeah.
Overall, like it was still new. The show got really good reviews, and there was that feeling of like, okay, like there's no way they're gonna like put out bad stuff. Like this is like they have the formula down. They have the budget, they have all this other stuff, and lo and behold, after Mandalorian, you get was it Book of Boba Fett that came out?
That was after season 2.
Okay, yeah.
So we got the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, then we get Book of Boba Fett.
So this is kind of where I see the wheels sort of kind of somewhat falling off.
Honestly, I never found Boba Fett to be a compelling character. Yeah, he looked cool, but in the movies that he was in before, it was just kind of, Didn't really do anything other than just kind of stand there and look cool.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, he didn't even look that cool. Like, I mean, his, like, helmet and his suit was alright. I mean, I always thought...
Yeah, it was khaki and green, pretty much.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things that just probably, when George Lucas created him, he was like, hey... I think originally the stormtroopers were going to actually be
Mandalorian looking.
Yeah, but then they kind of decided, hey, let's just do a one person or one off thing and make him a bounty hunter. So
yeah, and they were also going to have lightsabers too. It's like, okay,
yeah. So yeah, Book of Boba was like, it felt like, ugh. I mean,
the best episodes were the ones with the Mandalorian in it. With Din. Sorry.
I mean, which is interesting because it was directed by Robert Rodriguez, and he's kind of known for pretty good. His movies are pretty good, like Sin City, Desperado, Dusk Before Dawn, Spy Kids, which I've never seen, but it just came off very like low quality, kind of like the acting was sort of weird. I don't know. It was just very.
It just further solidified for me that Boba Fett's really not that interesting of a character.
Yeah, especially like since the prequels, they had that one actor. I forgot his name.
Oh,
he's a New
Tamara
Zealand.
Morrison or something like that.
Yeah, they kind of, he was okay in it, but it was just
he was serviceable. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think just the story wasn't dark enough. It just kind of like had that kiddie kind of vibe to it. And then after that was
Season 3.
well, let's just not talk about Mandalorian.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just talking about like
Oh, okay, yeah.
new shows.
So then we got, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, or was Andor? Did Andor come out before Obi-Wan or?
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Andor came out before Obi-Wan.
Oh wait, did it? Or, I don't know. I don't know anymore, guys. There's just so many.
I still haven't been able to get through Andor. I am episode 4.
Yeah, Andor was like a tough one for me to watch. The last few episodes, kind of like I was into.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty good, but it got good reviews, but it just didn't get good ratings, which was kind of funny to me. It was like the shows that were more kiddie had better ratings, but then got worse reviews, and then this one was more adult, I guess. And then the biggest disappointment to me was Obi-Wan Kenobi, because I had very high expectations.
I was interested into it until the first episode when those kidnappers were going after Kid Leia.
Yeah.
That kind of set the tone for me. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Leia was like their version of like Grogu. They're like, oh yeah, we have to have a little kid and that to kind of, and she totally just took away from the whole Obi-Wan and Vader story.
Mm-hmm.
And then just some of the choreography, the fights, like were very like amateurish. Like the settings were kind of very boring.
Funny considering that the lightsaber fights, especially in like the prequels, were just overkill. It was over choreographed and just, but yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like it seemed like unnecessary. Like in the long run, it was like, okay, maybe they could have made this a movie. It would have been better.
Yeah, but more condensed. Yeah,
I think they had a lot of chances to kind of do something cool, and
wasted it.
Yeah, they kind of wasted it. I think they could have picked a better director or a better storyteller just to kind of like make it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like hit or miss.
Felt a little rushed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was kind of slow paced, but also kind of rushed at the same time.
Yeah, I heard that it went through a lot of like they had to kind of rush through some stuff, because they were trying to get it out and
COVID,
yeah, and then COVID hit. So, but yeah, it just I think Obi-Wan Kenobi really kind of set the tone, like from before that, like I was like, okay, anything that Disney or Disney Plus comes out with that's Star Wars related, it's going to be good. Now I'm kind of like, with Ahsoka coming out, like I'm getting excited for it.
Right.
But at the same time,
I'm a little
worried.
voice in your head, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't suck. Please don't suck. Yeah.
As I spill freaking margarita on myself. But yeah, but I mean, what I'm seeing, the trailers definitely leaning towards more of the Jedi vibe with the lightsabers, which I think was kind of lacking in some of these shows. Like,
right.
I'm all for the whole war aspect, soldiers and
right.
But give me some freaking lightsabers, man. Just, I want to see some lightsaber battles and
I want
some
laser
cool villains.
swords.
Yeah, I want some villains with some cool masks and stuff.
Yeah, they even tried to, but yeah, even when they tried to do that, it's like that Moff Gideon kind of Mandalorian style helmet, just like.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a huge strike going on, and the writers are basically demanding more money, and like with all the streaming services making like record profits, people aren't getting paid. Like the people behind the scenes, the actors themselves. I mean, it's just a kind of a shit show.
Yeah. Disney's not looking very good in it either.
Yeah, and then you got Bob Iger, who's just kind of like totally
out of touch.
Out of touch.
He might know on the business side. Yeah, because I've heard him talk about like scaling back like Marvel and Star Wars stuff because they kind of oversaturated and kind of like freaked out over a COVID thing, and so he wants to rein that back a little bit, which is a good idea because kind of are oversaturated with that stuff. Yeah,
they're finally realizing like, hey, we're getting like screwed over, and I think it's a good thing. It's it's fighting for their rights, and the VFX people.
Well, it's also it's also kind of like a microcosm of just in general, because you got all these people who are like, people see entertainment workers and they're like, oh, they probably make a bunch of money. No, they're like us. They don't. A lot of them don't even make enough money to qualify for their
like benefits or
their benefits and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of eye opening. Like, you think like all movie stars are people who are on film and TV are like making a lot of money. That's not true.
That's maybe 10% of them at most, and the rest of them are just like working to make a living.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually in a movie. You've seen it. I think I worked about three 12-hour days, and I got paid $350. But I mean, I was a very small part of the movie. I was like, I didn't have like any lines or anything, but that's what is that? That's 36 hours of your life. Yeah, exactly, and that's I don't know how many hours of how you calculate that per hour.
Right.
But yeah, we're it's just times are really weird right now, and like we're kind of like hoping Ahsoka's a good show. I could say it's going to be good, but
it definitely has the ingredients to be good.
Yeah, I hear they're going to sort of like, I watched a little like recap of like Clone Wars and Rebels, which I haven't seen yet. But after watching that, I was like, oh man, that was kind of cool. Like, maybe I should have watched it, but I still can watch it. But yeah. So you wanted to talk about Dave Filoni?
Yeah, Dave Filoni is very much of a mixed bag for me. He's being set up kind of like the heir to George Lucas as far as the creative side of it, and it's just, that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. The prequels, there were some good ideas in the prequels. But Lucas was surrounded by so many yes men, and so I can see if the same thing happens with Filoni and people don't kind of like try to rein him in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just that's the thing. Even with the fan base, it's like you got like everybody's praising J.J. Abrams when he was selected to do Force Awakens, right? And then once it comes out and they're like, oh, he's the worst director ever. And then it's like, oh, everybody's praising Rian Johnson. And then, oh, this is the worst Star Wars movie ever.
Still my favorite sequel movie.
Yeah. And then, Jon Favreau creates The Mandalorian. Oh, he's like the like, Jesus Christ of Star Wars. And now he's just,
a savior.
Yeah, he's a savior. And so I think they have a tendency to kind of put a lot of these creators or writers on a pedestal, and the moment they like have a misstep or like something is not as successful, then they're like, blaming somebody, Kathleen Kennedy or whatever the hell they want to blame. I mean, the bottom line is, it's like fans are just
they're always gonna find something to bitch about.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's the way it is. I mean, even we kind of bitch about stuff that maybe we shouldn't bitch about, but it's like we feel...
Oh, we crap on Zack Snyder a lot.
Yeah, well, that could be another video, so... But yeah, let us know what you think of Ahsoka, and like what if you've seen the trailers, if you're stoked about it.
What are you excited for? What are you kind of hesitant and worried about?
Yeah, let us know, like, what do you think about this, like, the writer and actor strike? Are you guys for it, or are you against it? Do you think Disney's kind of like imploding? Do you think they're going to sell? I hear they're going to sell to Apple, which
that'll be interesting.
Makes a lot of sense, because I saw how much Apple like is worth and how much Disney is worth, and it's like Apple is like
it's
literally just buy
a drop in the bucket for them.
Yeah, it's freaking insane. Like, they have like trillions of dollars. Like, so I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Insane.
Yeah,
does anybody need trillions of dollars?
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And let us know what you think of this video. I know it's kind of candid, and we're just drinking margaritas here. I'll finish this later. Don't want to get a hangover. But yeah,
stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated. But yeah, it was good talking to you. And as always, just leave a comment and let us know what you think. And we'll catch you next time.
Peace.